Let me say it one more time so you completely understand, McMahon. Welcome, everyone, to the 1 Year in Wrestling podcast. If you actually think that I was just the right guy,
this podcast is scheduled for one fall and at a time limit of 45 minutes.
If you actually think, well then you're a bigger delusional bastard than I thought you were.
You're here. I'm here.
Let's do this!
Put my mic on!
Alrighty, we're moving into July 97. Welcome back to 1 Year in Wrestling. My name is Matt. I am joined by cryogenically frozen Chris.
How we doing?
And there he is. He's not in studio today. I guess we broke our streak at 1 month in a row, but we'll have him back in probably next month. It's a big one. We actually got a lot to record next month because there's SummerSlam 1990, our bonus episode, because we're doing 90 this year, the big four. And I don't know if you're are you down for watching the ECW pay-per-views, or am I going to be Joey Stylesing them from here on out?
I'll see what I can do.
Sure.
That's a lot of fucking shows to watch.
I know, that's fucking, yeah, just the way it worked out. It's 4 pay-per-views we got to watch next month. And they're all like 3 hours, which is
awesome.
Yeah. This one was didn't Canadian Stampede, wasn't it only like an hour 45? Like it was so short, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 4 matches.
Yeah, crazy. It went by so quick. But man, was it the crowd was nuts. It was as good as I remember, especially that main event was incredible. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. So we are doing July 97, In Your House Canadian Stampede. I was about to call it Calgary Stampede because that's what it was taking place during, but that would mean nothing to anybody that's not Canadian, I suppose. This one holds a special place in our hearts. Chris and I, both being from near Calgary, just north in Edmonton. So, and we're gonna get to the famous.
Hey, I did drink the water. The Hart.
Oh yeah, the creek water of the just downstream from the Hart Mansion. Yeah, that's right. Honorary Hart member. And you were literally in the crowd the very next night with that famous Bret Hart, our Hart Foundation interview, where they challenged all the Americans to the SummerSlam matches. They were all wearing Oilers jerseys. You were in the crowd for that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah, no kidding. So, man, it was so funny watching some of the Edmontonians from '97. I was like, oh man, looked like friggin' Louisiana or something. There was a bunch of people. I'm like, man, that does not look like Edmonton. I don't know. It was a different looking crowd than what I would have expected, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Hey man, that's how everyone looked in 97.
I guess so. There was a lot of ball caps and hat mullets and I don't know. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
It's a different time, man. It was a different time.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I guess.
Oh yeah.
Even in history, it is 2 decades ago now, or more than 25 years almost, 24 years. Yeah. So, yeah, no, fair enough. But I mean, for us, it seems like just yesterday. I vividly remember watching this pay-per-view and it's so funny, certain memories that you that whole Mankind Triple H thing, when they were fighting outside. I remember it so well, but I've literally only seen it live. I watched it live on pay-per-view, and I don't think we ever watched that match again. I just remember them brawling outside. I'm like, yeah, I totally remember this. So just remember parts of it, but yeah, I guess kind of get ahead of ourselves. We'll let you do the usual statistician stuff there, Chris, if you want to give us a breakdown.
So July 6th, 97 from Calgary in the, at the time, the Canadian Airlines Saddle Dome.
Right.
But Canadian Airlines no longer exists. So, I don't know what it's called now. I know it was the Pengrove Saddle Dome for a while.
I thought that's what it still is. Pengrove? No? I don't know.
Something along those lines. I might be wrong, but it was something along those lines.
No, you're right. It definitely was at one point, and I thought it still was, but well, who knows? Who cares? It was at the Saddle Dome.
Yeah. Hey, we went to a show. We went to Bret Hart Appreciation Night at that fucking place too.
Yeah, man, a lot of wrestling history in Calgary, of course. And yeah, that was a crazy night because I think it was a Monday Night Raw, and after Raw went off the air, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Vince McMahon all had a summit in the ring.
Yeah, first time all three had been in the ring in whatever years.
Exactly. So yeah, that was crazy. And then we got the shirts, and yeah, we had that crazy on the drive home. You ran over that deer.
Well, it was dead, but
Well, yeah.
I ran over it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Because if you pulled the wheel, like if you had turned the wheel any which way instead of driving straight through, we could have fucking flipped your car.
Well, at the speed I was going, yeah.
Yeah, you were doing like.
But
Leadfoot.
here you are passed out in the passenger seat. So,
I don't know if I was passed out. I was.
You were fucking out.
I was busy texting this
sleeping,
chick.
resting your eyes,
resting my eyes. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what you were doing.
Maybe I was because I remember like jolting awake, and you were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
when you ran over that deer. Yeah, crazy times.
Good story,
crazy
anyway.
Times. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, definitely a lot of wrestling history in Calgary. The crowd was rabid. It was cool to see Stu Hart got a massive ovation in this episode. This episode of In Your House. I thought you were talking about at our show. I'm like, was he even alive? No, Stu would have been long since passed away, I think, by then. But yeah, I guess let's get into the show. I mean, the quick breakdown, and you can say your piece too, is like this was a massive, like, I don't know, massive pay-per-view for me and my wrestling fandom at the time. Like Bret Hart was, and obviously Austin was red hot, and this is kind of right on the cusp of when wrestling became mainstream again. Like it was, I guess 98, 99 is kind of, maybe even into 2000, but this is kind of like right on the cusp of wrestling going mainstream again. So, and the crowd is like, you can really see, I remember I was talking about this last summer, like you can kind of start seeing the signs are starting to show up, but the signs are like tripled or quadrupled by this point. And like, I don't know, it's just, it's this one I had vivid memories of and just loving the main event. But yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, what was your kind of like, I guess, what do you have to say about Canadian Stampede?
Well, I've seen it like maybe 4 times. I never watched it live though.
Oh, you didn't?
No, this was pre before I figured out that you could go to bars and watch it.
Yeah, like Reds or Shanks or whatever.
Yeah. You know, the neighbor had the D-Scrambler box every now and then, but
right,
because I think he shared it with his buddy.
Oh yeah, so you got the odd one.
Yeah, I got the odd one there, but yeah, at this point in time, I never. So I think I saw it about 3 months down the road.
Really? Oh, man, that surprised me. I know you were like full blown wrestling fan by this point. Like you were.
Oh yeah, no. Like this, like you said, I went to the Raw the next night, and like me and my dad were both so fucking into it. The whole crowd was really fucking loud. Like it was probably one of the best live shows I've ever seen, especially like with because huge Hart fan and all that crap. So yeah, it was like just fucking crazy experience. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Getting back to the show. Yeah, no, I never saw it for like 3 months till it came out on video.
Right. Yeah. The VHS thing.
And I watched it when the network first came out and stuff again. I honestly, I didn't remember any of the 3 other matches. So like watching this was kind of, it was almost like watching it for the first time because I haven't seen it in probably 5 years or 6 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's been a while.
But it was a good show. To be honest, I absolutely love the Great Sasuke Takamichinoku match.
Okay. Yeah.
They did some moves in there I haven't even seen like on recent WWE.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was just like it was. I thought it was a really good freaking match.
Well, let's start with that match. Yeah, may as well, because we usually just do like front to back, like the beginning match. But like, yeah, we've already been kind of jumping around.
There's only 4 bloody matches.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's start with that one. Yeah, if the show was under 2 or wasn't under 2 hours the way it was, I probably would have not watched this match. But then I remember Takamichinoku was a pretty big deal for a long time, and especially there, and like I know back in Japan, he's like huge.
I'm pretty sure he still is a big deal in Japan.
In Japan, he is. I think isn't
like he owns a promotion.
That's right. You're right. Yep. So
War. He owns War.
Is it?
I don't know.
I thought it was called. I thought it was called Michinoku
War
Pro
because it's wrestling and romance.
Yeah, that was pretty good. War. Yeah, I think it's called Michinoku Pro.
Yeah, Michinoku Pro. Yeah,
which is kind of a dead giveaway, I guess. But yeah, okay, let's talk about this match. So yeah, you like that one, eh?
Yeah, no, like it was nothing. It wasn't like, how do I say, like a very fluid match. Like, they had some botches in there and stuff, but
that's
like,
okay though.
Yeah, like I said though, like some of the moves they did were fucking crazy. And like I hadn't seen those moves even like with Rey Mysterio and guys like that. So
no, it's true.
It just kind of like I was like, holy crap, this is actually I'm quite enjoying this match quite a bit.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I kind of was the same way. Like I was very tempted to fast forward it, and then they kind of got going, and there's a couple things that stood out to me, so I ended up watching it. Taka Michinoku, he moves differently, eh? Like I don't know if it's his body shape or body type or something, but
he runs like a stick man.
Yeah, exactly. He just holds.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. He holds his body strange, and yeah, he's kind of fascinating to watch because he's just kind of got this exactly weird way of moving. And also this was kind of when like you could really tell that Vince, I don't know, maybe wasn't sold or like he wasn't used to seeing this style of wrestling because like the whole time he was just like, oh, whoa. Oh, wow. Like just genuinely, but also hamming it up, kind of like doing the, look at that. Like really hamming it up. And they were kind of doing the whole like light heavyweights pouring in from around the world for this, like trying to, basically combat, in my opinion, now seeing both shows kind of going simultaneously, combat the whole, cruiserweight division of WWE, right? Yeah. Pretty apparent now. Like I didn't think anything of it back then because I didn't watch WCW, right? So, but yeah, totally the case, right? To have that match in there, but it was cool. And like you say, I don't the botches. Like sometimes in like luchador matches or like these types of matches, like it's fine. It's almost kind of expected just because of the amount of like stuff that they're doing or trying to pull off.
The guy they're going so fast, right?
Yeah.
And especially for this time, like it's rare to see at this time a freaking match that was that fast. And like
totally.
It was a 10-minute match, but it felt like, like a solid, like a good 10 minutes of entertainment for you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like no bashing like the Hunter versus Helmsley Mankind match, but there was some points when they were like outside where I was like kind of like, okay, like they just walked around the outside for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, they did a lot of that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I enjoyed it quite thoroughly.
I remember the ending kind of surprised me because like I thought Taka was going to be like they obviously the guy they're kind of building the division around, and he ended up losing kind of from like some random, wasn't it just like a power bomb or something out of nowhere, and then he got pinned. I was like, holy crap, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, I think it was like some weird kicking spinning thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. For sure that was kind of like the sleeper match of the four of them, I guess. But I honestly enjoyed. I know you were kind of mentioning, and I agree with you. Like the parts outside, it seems like Hunter Hearst Helmsley even back then was doing a lot of brawling on the outside. Like his matches have always been like kind of brawls, right? It just seems like he's always a brawler. I don't know. He's like
to be honest, he like fight Mankind or like Mick Foley here for like the next fucking 10 matches he's in.
Basically until
doesn't this lead up to like MSG?
It does, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cactus Jack's first appearance, and it basically like he walks Triple H into DX. Basically, he's like, okay, this is like exactly last stop for Triple H before he becomes a member of DX is basically Mick Foley. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe he's just getting into what he's gonna have to do for the next, 3 months, 4 months.
Fair enough, but I've always known, like when I think of Triple H matches, I always think of like out on the floor and like you say, walking around. There's stairs. Somebody gets thrown the guardrail. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he's a heel, right? He's trying to kill some time and
that's true.
Slow it down,
and even earlier in the year and like the end of last year, it was like that rivalry with Goldust, and he was just like always throwing him into the stairs, and then exactly like all that kind of stuff. So, but I really enjoy this rivalry. These guys always, I mean, we've said it a few times, but these guys have always had like really good, chemistry. The two of them in the ring had some great matches over the years. Many more yet to come. And, of course, leading into the classic blue steel cage match that we're going to get next month at SummerSlam. So I enjoyed it. And it was kind of, like, obviously the King of the Ring one was better. And it was because Mankind had, like, his tweaked neck going into the match. So, and, it did the table spot and all that. But they kind of did similar. It was kind of like the King of the Ring match light, almost like where they kind of did similar spots with like China hauling Mankind like in front, like with the ref's back turned, like hauling him out of the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of the same stuff.
She was just way more involved in this one.
You think so? I thought she was pretty involved in the King of the Ring, like that. She was like almost the instrumental.
I guess.
Ballsy.
Well, she was whacking him around pretty good there for a bit, though.
She had it was the really good spot, the good spot where he ran at her. I think Mankind ran at China, and she did kind of like the hip toss body slam type thing, and like his legs just nail the stairs, like the top of the stairs.
Oh,
yeah. And Vince was like, "I've never seen anything like that in my life."
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Fucker, he probably broke his foot on that.
Probably, and just didn't care. It was kind of weird to see Vince, because Vince usually sits out on the in your houses, but he was here for this one, which is kind of good though, because he kind of needed to be there for some of it.
Because it's Canadian Stampede, man.
It's Canadian Stampede, and it changes it so much because like by this point he's really given Jim Ross some time to shine, like just him and Lawler. So it's always weird when he like comes back, right? Like when you're used to him, it's like every month, but all of a sudden when he starts kind of like intermittently leaving and then coming back, it's like weirder every time to have him come back in.
It's at his convenience, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Canadian.
I think he just does it whenever he feels like it.
It could be, right? If he's like wants to wear the producer hat that night, he'll just be like, you know what, you go out there, Jim, you do it. Like, yeah, he could be. I could see him being that spontaneous about it.
I could.
Yeah. I would. Little shout out to Dave Pomeroy. I would. So we got that. Oh yeah. So was that basically your synopsis of the Mankind Triple H match?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Not too much going on there for you. Okay. Then we did the Taka match. What else we got in there? What was the other one?
Taker Vader.
Yeah. What did you think of this one?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a couple of fucking like. They botched that, like he was rolling them.
Oh, into the tombstone
like,
thing?
I don't know if he was supposed to come up into a tombstone or if he was trying to pin him, but they botched that one spot bad.
But dude, that'd be so hard. Like,
you can't blame a man with freaking Vader.
Well, Vader and like Taker himself is like 300 pounds, 6'10". Like those are two huge dudes trying to do like a pretty like circus level. You know what I mean? Like rolling with each other and shit. Like that was pretty. I could see where that would go wrong. The fact that he can fucking tombstone Vader and Vader even lets him, because like that could go wrong so easy. Is like holy shit, man. It's impressive though. Like impressive to see.
I really liked the promo before the match too.
With Paul Bear. Yeah. He's very he's changed. Like he's like, I think you pointed out, he's kind of like, he's more like kind of like the Percy Pringle Paul Bear hybrid kind of. Yeah, he's got like the brown hair, his natural like kind of reddish brown hair, and he's like really goofy now and doesn't do like the oh yes, like he's still got the high pitched voice, but he's like, his character's way different.
Oh yeah, no, he's just like straight giving you shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Call out like
there ain't no animation to it with the fucking jowl jiggle
and like the white.
Even though his jowls still jiggle every time he moves his mouth.
But man, he's so entertaining to watch though, because now he's like hitting Undertaker with his shoe and then like struts off, and he's like, oh, murderer over there, just doing all these like. He was funny. He was worth the price of admission. Just he'd be like hiding kind of by the ring, and man, he's great. He kind of reminds me of like a roly-poly kind of Paul Heyman, like just got like good presence in the ring or around the ring, but doesn't like, he pops up when it's needed, but other than that, he's just kind of like, just keeps to himself.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah. So the only thing I really noticed, I thought was very telling in this match, is what WWF thinks of Vader and kind of how they've handled him. Like he's whatever he is, like 16, 18 months in for his run by now. But last summer, after he'd been just like destroyed by Shawn Michaels, like just given all the moves in the book by Shawn Michaels. And since then, and then the beginning of this match was like Undertaker just destroyed which is fine because Undertaker's huge, but it's just like, man, Vader just gets the shit kicked out of him. He ended up getting some like good heat in the match, but like at first I was like, holy crap, man, Vader is just like a bag of shit in WWF, basically.
Yeah, he's a punching bag.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it was kind of.
I just don't think they knew what to do with him.
Well, I think they tried, right? Because that's what Cornette always says is like they had these big plans, but it was like basically like, I don't know. It's kind of back, the politics in the back, like Shawn Michaels kind of buried him or whatever, right? Which I think we talked a little bit about. So I don't know, But at the same token, like Vader was freaking overweight at this time, like as I mentioned, and he was like I think 45 or something like that. He was pretty old at this point too.
Well, couldn't hold it together, I guess.
Do you remember the It was on Raw, and it was coming up. It might be this year, it might be next year. But when Jim Ross cornered Vader on the way out after he lost, he like fell over in the ring and something happened. And Jim Ross is like, well, Vader, yet. It's one of those like interviews where the guy's already lost and he's walking up the ramp, and then the guy goes and chases him. Vader, hold on, what? Yeah, which you never see anymore. And then he's like, what happened out there? And Vader's just like, I trained. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Look at me. I'm a big fat piece of shit. And he said it like without any censorship on Raw. And like then Jim Ross was like, I don't condone Vader's verbiage here, but do you remember that?
No.
Oh man, it was awesome. Me and Eric used to quote it all the time. I'm just a big piece of shit. Good God. It's too bad.
Well, that's what they treated him like. So.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm so big. I'm just a big piece of shit.
He was just a punching bag jobber.
Pretty much. Yeah. He went from attacking Gorilla Monsoon in one of his first appearances to this, right? Like just nothing. It was a good match though. I enjoyed this. I'm really digging watching Taker, like when he's like 31, or I guess he's 32 at this point. Like, man, he can still move too. Like Taker's the man back then.
Oh, he's coming into it, man.
Yeah, definitely. But
right,
yeah,
this is right when he, right before he starts evolving every couple of years. And
yeah, this is kind of the last kick at just sort of the normal, the first incarnation of Taker. Mind you, he had a few
well, it's like the third incarnation.
Yeah.
But
remember what was it? What was the one? I want to say '94 SummerSlam where it was Taker versus Taker, and he came down in bat wings.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, right. That was kind of like one of the first rebirths where Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun was like looking for him for some reason.
Oh,
you fucking remember that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was weird. That was a good SummerSlam. Maybe one day we'll have to go back and just watch that, the '94, because that's got the Bret Hart Owen Hart steel cage match.
I've watched that in the last couple of years.
Oh, does it hold up? Is it good?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. No, this is like that. Yeah, it's the SummerSlam where it's post WrestleMania 10.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because that's the Owen Hart.
Yeah,
that's where he gets his chant because he beat Bret at Mania, so they give him his fucking title shot, and that's the one where Bret fought for him to give him the chance, and they ran with them all summer.
Yeah. So basically, it was WrestleMania. It started that Survivor Series, so that would have been Survivor Series '93 with the whole
with the brothers.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then Royal Rumble where he kicked his leg out of his leg.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh man, that's so classic. So classic. One of these days we'll have to just instead of doing like a bonus show, we'll just have to do a series of like a rivalry or something. Exactly. That'd be a good one to retrace. Like start with this year's Survivor Series, like also watch '93 Survivor Series and just kind of track the whole Bret Owen feud.
Yeah, I think you can do that on the network.
Totally, that'd be wicked, man. We should do that.
Yeah,
but wicked. Okay, so I guess that's anything else about the Vader match, Vader Taker?
No, we're good.
All right, so now the main event. Now this thing was badass. Like I remember looking, and it was like with all the entrances, everything it was about 40 minutes, right? It was a long time.
It was a good 10 minutes with everyone.
What I'm talking is like what was left on the show when they started bringing guys out. There was like 40 minutes left. I was like, holy shit! But they also have all the celebration at the end, right? Like the entire Hart family comes in the ring, and so it was a big production. Like this, they went all out for this, and it was amazing. I loved all the entrances. Yeah, it was just cool to see everybody come out. I like how the Hart Foundation kind of waited by the house. Like they didn't all come down, you know what I mean, down to ringside and wait at ringside. Like they all waited for each other kind of up at the top of the ramp there. That was cool. Super cool. And
oh yeah, man. You meet as a family, you go down as a family.
Yeah. No, it looks a lot more effective when all 5 of them are walking down, right? And yeah, it was cool. They made him wait for Brett. Like Brett had a good 30-second pause before his music came out, and man, just such a cool time. Like it was so cool to see like all these guys fighting, and man, the crowd was just electric. Told a good story. Owen Hart got knocked out halfway through, and then Stone Cold got knocked out, and they both come back, and you know the family's getting involved. What's the guy that looks like Chuck Norris? Which guy is that? Like the
that's Bruce.
Is that Bruce? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the story. I guess Bruce like fucking punched. I think it's this one. Punched Austin in the kidneys like really hard. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like Austin was like kind of pissed at him afterwards. I'm pretty sure it was this time.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
And just like and he was always slipping around. Like Bruce Hart like could barely stay on his feet. Like I think he slipped like 8 or 9 times.
Oh yeah, well his first punch he goes into to land and he fucking slips and like hits the air.
Yeah, he totally did. And he's wearing those aviators with his stoic expression, like he's like a movie star.
Oh yeah.
But it was.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like, you know, I lived in Calgary for 3 years. All the kids that worked for me. Yeah, at one point he was their substitute teacher.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah, because that's what he is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he wears these stupid fucking like wrestling boot sneakers.
What?
Oh, dude, I am not lying. Like, there's a meme on the Calgary page that I follow that it's like a picture of his shoes, and it's like, you know, the caption's like, if you don't know what teacher this is, you didn't grow up in Calgary.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea about any of that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know he was a teacher.
And like,
I didn't know. Huh.
And like, I think 3 of the brothers or 2 of them are firemen.
I knew like, that because I remember
you can go like what's the one with the mustache?
Oh yeah. Like
he works at the fucking fire hall that services the neighborhood of like the Hart House.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah, like you can go to the fire station and meet him. He's the fucking like chief of I know number 20 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. There's so many siblings. So I wonder how many of them actually stayed in Calgary. Probably the majority of them.
A lot of them.
You'd think, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
like a lot of them. Like
man, I didn't know that. That
Davy Boy's wife still lives there.
Oh, okay. Ross Hart, is that one of them? Ross is like, I can't remember which one he is. Yeah.
I think he's dead though.
Oh, is he?
I'm pretty sure.
Where did Owen's wife end up? Do you remember the Dark Side of the Ring? Are they in the States?
No, she's in Calgary.
She's in Calgary too, eh? Okay.
Yeah, she's a doctor at the
Mount Royal College, right? Didn't they say she's like a professor or something at Mount Royal College?
Something like, maybe, yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, we're kind of, yeah, cool. The presence of, you know, the Hart family, obviously, in Calgary. So, but yeah, back to obviously the main event. Man, it was cool to see, like Legion of Doom kind of being the unreluctant, or, you know, the reluctant bad guys, right? They were kind of hamming it up by the end. Like, they originally come out, and, you know, all the good guys are kind of like, they aren't used to getting booed, except for Austin, of course. And then, you know, halfway through the match, they kind of just accept it, and they really, like, you know, play into being bad guys kind of thing. It was fun. Oh, did you notice, too, fucking Brian Pillman came in the ring and, like, broke up so many pins and submissions and everything? Like, Pillman was, like, the MVP.
That's all he did, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. You're right. He took a good round out of Shamrock. There was a good exchange with him and Shamrock. He was slapping him around.
And when him and Austin, like I remember, I think he was beating Shamrock in the corner, and Austin came and grabbed him by the hair and pulled him out. That was pretty good too, because you know everyone knew like they were tag partners.
Yeah,
right?
the history, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
Even by this point in WWF, like people that weren't even aware of the Hollywood Blondes, like they have a pretty serious rivalry by this point, even in that like year and a half, right? Like with the whole Pillman has a gun and all that. So it was that was great. There's a lot of electric parts, like that very beginning. I'm glad they went with Austin and Hart to start, and just, man, the crowd was just going nuts. Like that was a perfect, I don't know whose call that was, but that was a great start.
That was probably Pat Patterson. That has Pat all over it.
Yeah, right. But you start with the two Hart and
Well,
Stone Cold.
didn't it start with them and finish with them, and then Owen came in for the rolled them up quickly? Wasn't that it?
That is exactly right. Yeah, and the roll up. This is like one of the usually times
he was pulling the trunks.
Oh, that's
too.
fine. That's fine. But usually like the roll ups are just like really, like I don't know if you saw the last Hell in a Cell. It was like Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, and Hell in a Cell ended with a roll up. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like most times roll ups is like just pathetic, but this one was actually that's the one you want. You want to kind of see it like that, right?
Yeah.
It was a super awesome match. Like I liked LOD. Man, Hawk is like he can do every move like in wrestling history. He was doing big splashes. He does the Hawk chops. Like, I usually do like the age rundown. So let me see if I can remember all this because this is a few days ago now. But so Hawk was 40, Animals 37, Dustin Rhodes or Goldust 28 at the time, Davey Boy's 35, Owens 33, Brett is I think just 40. Who else is I? Shamrock was 33 or 34 already, which makes sense, I guess. He was pretty late start. Who else is in there? Pillman, I want to say, I don't know if I looked up Pillman. He's got to be like late 30s. And who else is in there?
I think he was around like 33. I think he was Owen's age.
Yeah, 33, eh? I guess hard living. And Austin 32. I think that's it. I think, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of cool, man. I was thinking too.
I can't believe how young Goldust is. Like,
I know.
He was 28.
Yeah, and he's already been around for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Literally. He started when he was 18. What was I saying? Yeah, it's crazy to see all, like, if you think about all the experience, like, in the ring at that time, like, how many, like, all those guys have been around, like, 15 years, some of them, like, 20 years. And, like, there's no, aside from Shamrock, like, they're all
seasoned.
All seasoned. You don't see that very much anymore, right? Like, it's kind of like watching Survivor Series from back in the day where there's like Rick Rude, Jake Roberts, all these guys that have been around for like 15, 20 years, all these territories. So it's kind of, it was interesting to see like all these guys like either in their prime or like kind of almost late prime, right? Like all in their 30s, like mid to late 30s. Some of the guys are 40. So it's kind of interesting to see them all.
Yeah. I don't know. They all seemed young to me. Like I can't even believe fucking Hawk is 40.
40, yeah. No kidding. Well, it's so funny, right? Like when you're a kid, when you're younger, and you think about it, like they're adults, right? So they're all old to you. When you're like 14, you're like, oh, whatever. 30 is 40. Like it doesn't really matter, right? But now that like like we're older than any of those guys. Like I'm turning 40 now, so like Taker was 32. You know what I mean? And like, there was like a huge crew of guys. It was Michaels, Mankind, Stone Cold, and Taker were all the same age. They're all like 32 at this point, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. No, that's nuts.
Yeah, but no, overall, I don't know. How did it hold up? Like, it's short and sweet. This is the final In Your House that's under 2 hours. We're back to 3 hours for absolutely every pay-per-view we watch from here on out.
Yay.
Yeah. How did it hold up for you? What would you give it on your Actimichuck rating?
Like 75%.
75, eh? Okay.
Maybe even 80.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just because of the attachment of like, it's just the fact that it's like in our backyard and like you went to the Raw the next day. Yeah, it's just hard not to give it 80. I would give it, I guess what would be the 80 equivalent would be a 4 stars. I would... 4.25 if I'm on like the Meltzer scale. I'm gonna throw some 0.25s in there.
Throw a little decimal action.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was good.
Get interesting. Go quarters, man.
Yeah, exactly. I did like the brawling, like I mentioned as well. The brawling between Mankind and Triple H on the outside of the Saddle Dome, where they're like throwing kegs at each other, and man, that was cool. That was good stuff. But yeah, no, classic. Classic retro. Trip down memory lane for this one. Definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to be coming back at you with the next episode is going to be WCW. There's always Beach or Bash. Which one is
Bash
this?
at the
Bash at the
Beach.
Beach. Yes, the 1 year anniversary of NWO getting formed, and that has the tag team of Dennis the Worm Rodman and Hollywood Hogan returning after about a 3 or 4 month hiatus. So, and they are facing. I'm already drawing it. Oh yeah, Luger and fucking the Giant. Or no, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Man. I just watched this one. Wicked. That's bad. I might edit that. I might not. But yeah, thanks for joining 1 year in wrestling. We'll come back at you with the WCW 97 pay-per-view. Thanks.
Let me say it one more time so you completely understand, McMahon. Welcome, everyone, to the 1 year in wrestling podcast. If you actually think that I was just the right guy,
This podcast is scheduled for one fall.